Okay, everybody, welcome to today's webinar where we're going to take this opportunity to walk you through some of the most interesting and relevant features that have come out of the Workday 32 update. My name is Aruna Mutu and I am a Workday consultant at Ataraxis.
And I'm Nara Tumba and I will be joining Aruna to present you the new features of this release of Workday.
The objective of today is to provide you with a clear understanding of the upcoming changes in Workday 32 and, of course, and more importantly, I guess, enable you to consider what's applicable to your company and where we at HR Path can assist you. If you have any questions as we are going through the presentation, please do note them down, as you will have an opportunity afterwards to email us directly and we will get back to you on your questions individually. The modules that we're going to cover today are talent and performance, recruiting, learning, and integrations and cross-application services. I want to take a moment to just highlight the importance of Workday community. So all the features in these Workday releases are based on real customer experiences. So please do keep voting on brainstorms and raising them as well. And if you're not familiar with what a brainstorm is, it's the mechanism that Workday community use to allow customers to actually raise issues about things they're seeing in the system, and also to raise demands and say, we would love to see this in the system, for example. And if enough customers vote on the brainstorm, Workday actually takes that into account in the next releases. As always, please bear in mind the safe harbor statement. Throughout the presentation, when we are going through the features, you will see some of these little symbols. So essentially, some of the features are opt-in, and that means that there's no obligation to use them at all. But if they interest you, you would have to do some setup or configuration in order to utilize it. Some features are automatically available, which means they'll be in your tenants already, and this is to make you aware of that and let you know how it works. And also there may be one or two features with a little explosion next to it, which simply means that the production date is yet to be determined. So let's kick off with talent and performance. So the first feature I'm very excited about, I must say. I've had a customer just yesterday ask me if this is something that is possible. So I told them very happily that it just is in the latest release. So this is a opt-in feature and will only be relevant to your company if you have learning as well as talent. So it's a learning integration with competencies. So with Workday 32, you can now tag learning content with competencies. So of course, this leads to improved user experience and better data as well. So let's take a look at the screenshot to have a look in more detail at what this looks like. So from the setup point of view, this is the screen where you can actually tag a learning program with competencies. So what we can see here is a learning program called Leadership Program as an example. And at the bottom, you can see where it's highlighted a number of competencies have been attached to this learning program. In the next screenshot, we can see the user end, and this is the really exciting part for me. So in this screenshot, this is how an employee actually will see on their competency learning recommendations. So this is their competency called leadership, and as you can see, there are actual learning recommendations for leadership in particular. So an employee can help achieve their goals and reach their targets with these recommendations that are directly linked on their competency. The next feature is also opt-in. Another really good one, actually. Workday 32 have had some really good releases for talent and performance. And this is regarding ad hoc notifications for talent pools. So with Workday 32, you now have the ability to send notifications or messages to a select number of individuals within a talent pool. And remember, this is opt-in, so of course there's no obligation to use this feature, but it is now there. So if we take a look at the screenshot, you'll be able to see how it looks. So what we have here is an example of a talent pool called Critical Roles to Advance. So that's just an example here for today. But what you can see is in the demo, the employee has selected a number of employees that they want to send a message to, and they can do that directly from the talent pool. So you can literally click send message and a message will go out to the employees that you've selected. The next feature, and probably the most exciting, and I know they're all very good, as I keep saying, but they really are awesome ones this time that I've had personal experience of customers asking me quite a few times. So this one is automatically available. So I hope that if you're using Talent, you'll agree with me that this is a great update. So this is regarding the feedback labels. Now, Workday 32 will include now an update to the actual labels to better reflect broader uses of feedback. So this will improve the user experience and, of course, therefore help drive a continuous feedback culture by empowering users to make clearer choices when they are giving feedback to another employee directly or about another employee. So let's have a look at that screenshot to see what I'm talking about. So here we can see, this is an example of an employee giving feedback to Adam Carlton. So at the point when they're giving feedback, they've got a number of options there that they can select regarding the feedback confidentiality and also the anonymity. So by anonymity, obviously what I mean is they can decide whether their own name is revealed to Adam or not. And now it's made with that's made clear with a very simple checkbox, show my name, yes or no. So before it wasn't, I think, as clear for some customers. That's the feedback I got on this, actually. So I'm really glad to see this change. So if you have enabled anonymous feedback, now it'll be seen with a show my name checkbox. The second part is regarding confidentiality of feedback. So if you have enabled confidential feedback in your company, now when an employee is actually giving the feedback on the screen, they will see this. 3 options. Don't share with Adam Carlton, share with Adam Carlton, or share with others. So it's a lot clearer and simpler for the employee to select what they actually intend to do. And finally, I think this is the last feature of Talent Performance with Workday 32. This is also an automatically available feature. This is regarding the recognized certifications. So Workday 32 has delivered a new task within Maintain Certifications, which is designed to help administrators manage and consolidate that long list of certifications that you might have. And of course, this reduces not only the manual effort in maintaining it, but also to enable you to keep a recognized clean list of certifications. So why don't we have a look at the screenshot and you can see how that looks. So now in the Maintain Certifications task, there's a Find button, and this allows you to find unrecognized certifications and merge them with the already existing recognized certification. So let's see what happens when you click on that Find button. So here you can see we have found 4 unrecognized certifications here where they are all saying the same thing. They're all Google Ads certifications that different employees have added. So what happens with certifications, you will know if you have it in your company, is employees can actually create a certification on the fly. So if an employee is trying to add a certification that they have into the system and they see, you know what, I can't see that certification in this list, they can create one there and then, which adds on to the list. So that's what this new update is all about, is maintaining a clean list, even though that functionality is there for employees to create it on the fly. So now, once you have found these 4 unrecognized certifications that are describing the same certification, you can merge them. So once you click on merge, you'll see in the next screenshot that you can actually merge them into the one parent certification that is already recognized as, if you like, the official version of it. And it nicely merges it into one, so that list doesn't have all the variations of the same certification in the list. And I think that brings us to the end of the talent and performance features.
Yes, and we'll be moving on to the next module. So we'll see now the new features of the recruiting module. And we'll actually start with what I believe is the main new feature for recruitment, and this is the recruiting hub. So the recruiting hub will actually be includes a configurable navigation toolbar, a centralized view of action items, outstanding tasks, and recruiting information. And from now, recruiters will be able to configure what information to preview so that they can more efficiently manage their workload, monitor candidate activity, and quickly navigate between pages. So we'll take a closer look at what it looks like with this first screenshot. So previously, the recruiting worklet was the central point of engagement for easily accessing tasks and reports. And the recruiting hub now provides, like I said, a centralized location where you can easily take action on every item that is related to your recruitment process. You can see that there is on the left a collapsible toolbar from which you can access different sections. So the sections are recruiting, that gives you a general view of your recruitment processes, job requisitions, candidates, dashboards, and you can also configure the shortcuts with the button on the with the button on the bottom left side of this screenshot, customize here. So as I was explaining, you'll be able to grant access to the recruiting hub by adding users on the recruiting hub domain. So this way you will be providing recruiters with this collapsible navigation toolbar, and this toolbar will also provide easy access to new functionalities such as the job requisition workspace and mass actions on candidates across job requisitions. We will see one of those 2 new features afterwards. And on this screenshot, you can actually see, so there are 2 parts. So there is this candidate pipeline, and right under it, you have 3 cards that are circled in red. And these cards can be removed, added, or moved by the end user. Each card actually allows the recruiter to view all the items within the card and further take action on each of the items. So the set of cards comes in 2 different forms. The inbox items here on the top, on the upper part of the screen, and you have the job applications one. The inbox items reflect each stage of the job application except for the review stage. So you have screen, interview, assessment, reference check, offer, employment agreement, background check, and ready for hire. So those last 4 that you can see here on the screen. And as for the job application cards, they are constituted by the candidate pipeline, with two cards, one that refers to new internal candidates and the other one that refers to new referrals. So this set of cards gives a holistic view of where the candidates are across all job applications. Both cards will show the internal candidates and referrals who are on the review stage. You have then here screenshots of two different sections that you have on the toolbar. So you have what you will see when you click on candidate. So you will have the candidate job applications view where you can actually see and manage all your candidates across all your job applications. And the view when you click on dashboard. So the dashboard will actually give you the recruiting dashboards, thus allowing you to see reports and to manage and analyze where are your recruitments standing at. So this recruiting hub is actually a great way to deal with ongoing recruitments, as it centralizes in one single space all recruitment-related tasks and reports, and gives you the opportunity to access to them thanks to a single click. So moving on to the next new feature, that is the duplicate candidate merging feature. So from now on, you'll be able to merge candidates with an attached pre-hire to other records at any stage of the job application process when you use the merge to person feature. So this will ensure that you hire the correct candidate and reduce time spent on duplicate record management. So just to dig in a little more into this feature, prior to Workday 32, when you would merge two candidates that have a candidate home account, Workday would keep the home account of the source active. And also before, with Workday 31, you could only link candidates with pre-hires to other pre-hires. Well, now it is possible to merge candidates with pre-hires to other pre-hires, and also the candidate home account that will be kept active will be the home account of the candidate with the last updated email address. And also related to this new feature, previously the personal information for personal information, Workday kept the target data on the merge record, and now it is the latest updated data that that will be kept. And this feature will be automatically available, of course. Then I talked a bit quicker about mass actions and candidates. So this will be possible, but only if you uptake and configure the recruiting hub. So you will be able to take mass actions on candidates across multiple job requisitions. And this will actually offer more flexibility and precision when moving or declining candidates massively. So the changes include providing the ability, of course, to take mass action on candidates across multiple job requisitions, but also grouping selected candidates for mass action by current stage when moving forward or declining the candidates. So again, take into account that this new feature is only available with the recruiting hub configured. So next new feature, it will be possible now to ask a referrer a set of questions about the candidate when they recommend someone. So you will be you will have the possibility to configure a complete questionnaire step on the refer candidate business process definition. So for that, you have to create a questionnaire with the type of referral. Then add the complete questionnaire step to the refer a candidate business process definition and route this to a security group. So this is actually quite nice because it makes the recruiting process more efficient, and it enables the recruiter to gather more information and actually improves the whole recruiting efficiency. Next, with Workday 32, it will be possible for the candidates to ask for their information to be deleted. So this is actually a very important new feature, as it you to comply with general data protection regulation and also other regulatory requirements more efficiently. So to set this new feature up, sorry, you will need to set up in the Edit External Career site the task prior to this, and then run a request report that will enable you to view and manage the candidates who have made the request of their information being purged. And I think it's the last feature for the recruitment module, the external candidate job alerts. So from now on, candidates will have the possibility to create an alert for the job post that they are interested in, so that they can be notified by email directly when new positions meet their preferences. So it of course concerns external candidates who have an account. With your company job opportunities, and will be able to create a job alert with search criteria of their preferences to notify them via email with matched jobs. And this concludes the presentation for the recruitment module.
Nora, I can see we have a question in the pane about recruiting. So if you're able to answer, I'm not sure, because it's about how do we enable the recruiting hub. And I think that's the whole separate recruiting module. Or is the recruiting hub something else? I think it's something else.
So let me see.
Yeah, because if not, Vinod, we are going to get back to all your questions in more detail in email.
No. I can get back to I can get back to this client about the recruiting hub directly.
Fantastic. So that's great. Thank you, Nora.
Just in the end of the presentation, I'll get back to.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So let's carry on with the learning part of the features. So with learning, there weren't too many updates with Workday 32 actually, but nonetheless, some really good ones again. Number 3 in particular is my favorite. So hopefully if you have learning, you'll be excited by that one. Or it might make you want to purchase learning. So these are all opt-in features. So the first feature is regarding extended enterprise learning. So essentially with Workday 32, you are now enabled to create and maintain learning accounts for users outside of your organization. So of course, by expanding your organization's learning catalog, an audience like this can help you align external users with your organizational values. So just do bear in mind that this extended enterprise learning is a separate product, so would require a separate license. So if it sounds like something you could be interested in or your company could benefit from, then please do contact your customer base account exec, and they will be able to help you with that. The second feature is, again, also opt-in, so bear in mind there would need to be some setup in order to utilize it, is the learning campaign maintenance. So this enables you to streamline how you deliver learning content. So now Workday will automatically remove learners when they are no longer in a campaign's intended audience. And of course, this will improve to help status reporting and also better maintain previously completed campaigns. So if you have learning, this should really improve the reporting aspect of that in particular. And lastly, and the one as I highlighted out at the beginning that I think is really, really cool and useful, is the pre-hire learning access that is now possible with Workday 32. So with this Workday 32 update, you are now enabled to provide pre-hires with access to your Workday learning. So you'll be able to create pre-hire audiences and actually directly send them campaign learning content. Again, setup would be required to actually use this, so you would need to know how to configure that in the system. But then, of course, this could be really beneficial to you to help your pre-hires get aligned with your organizational values before they actually join the firm. And I think that's actually all of the learning features that came about with Workday 32. So I'll pass back to Nora to take you through the integrations.
Yes, so we'll be reviewing now the new features for integrations and cross-application services. So let's start with integration. So the first new feature, concerns only the companies that are located in the UK. So it's about the electronic value-added tax returns. So from now, the tax declaration framework has been expanded to map out from your tax declaration definitions to the VAT 100 format in the UK. So this will enable you to maintain and submit your VAT returns electronically and also help you to comply with VAT filing requirements. So moving on to the next feature, the ad hoc payroll effective change interface integrations. It was updated. The way the PECI, so the payroll effective change interface integrations, tracks the last successful run date as the worker leveling ad hoc payroll effective change interface integration. So we'll take a look at the way it changes. So with Workday 32, the last successful run date will now be automatically updated for the employees sent through the ad hoc run. So subsequent primary payroll effective change interface excludes the corrections that were already sent. So everything is more automatic, and it will enable you to have less checks, less verifications to make. There will not be any duplicate data changes sent to payroll, as it will be automatically synchronized between primary and ad hoc runs. So you see here that after enabling the integration service new parameter, if set to true, the worker will have a last successful run date, so the LSRD, assigned for this integration system. So for the payroll errors for third-party payroll integrations, so our second new feature, Workday improved the usability for third-party payroll integrations with new error reports, making it easier for you to track the overall status of your integrations and also to quickly identify any corrective actions you need to take. So this is a seamless experience that is provided here, and this experience enables you to view external payroll errors and take actions, all within Workday. So previously, when worker changes were processed by external payroll, you would receive error notifications via email. Then you had to log into Workday to correct them. Well, from now on, you can do everything directly from your Workday page. Now moving on to our fourth new feature. This is the global payroll reconciliation. So you can, with Workday 32, you can configure and reconcile worker payroll related information between Workday and your third-party payroll system. This will actually automate the process and will help you save time and also efforts, of course. So to create the reconciliation integration, you need to provide a template called the global payroll reconciliation. So there is some configuration that needs to be done, but this is quite minor. Then we'll move on to the call connector. So our next new feature, the call connector that concerns the global worker integration. So this is a new call connector that Workday introduces here. And this global worker integration makes it easier to report data with effective dates applicable to a worker's local time zone. So this is actually an integration that reports worker data changes dynamically, and the call connector is a new integration template that needs to be set up and configured per your integration needs. And this new integration will not impact any existing Workday features and does not need to be implemented. So it's actually entirely up to you to set it up or not. Then moving on to the event-driven integration for third-party payroll. So here, Workday will automatically send worker data for terminations and for terminations to your external payroll vendors. Instead of only sending terminations in a payroll effective change interface integration run. So it once again allows you to buy time and to be more efficient in your relation with your third-party payroll. And this new feature requires some configuration that I will be happy to explain if you want to know how this should be set up. So now we'll move on to the cross-application services. Our new feature in this module concerns the login page. So you will have this new window when you after logging into a tenant. So you can now explicitly trust devices at the time of login with this new security feature. You can now also use the sign-ons and attempted sign-ons report to understand if the login is from a trusted or untrusted device. So there is no configuration required, and the feature is enabled by default. And in order to disable the feature, you will need to edit the security feature in your tenant setup. Then there is some newness also in the report administration and maintenance section. So Workday provides more control over report groups and administrations. You can now find, select, and mass delete multiple custom report definitions. Previously, you could only delete custom report definitions one at a time. So just be aware that this feature was basically supposed to be delivered by the beginning of March, like all the others, but the delivery was postponed, and Workday has not actually communicated on the exact date of the delivery yet. But let's take anyway a closer look to this nice new feature. So you can now, as I was saying, find, select, and delete several custom report definitions directly. Multiple parameters allowed to extract specific group of the report. And after running the task that you see here on the right side of your screen, users will see a list of reports here that can be deleted. And of course, a confirmation before deletion is required. You can actually see the little confirm box between those the two tables. Always very discreet, you know, with a little asterisk next to the checkbox. Let's move on to our third new feature in cross-application services. So it is the email-based authentication. So Workday 32 expands user eligibility for multi-factor authentication by supporting email delivery of one-time passcodes. So you will have the possibility to deliver codes using work or home email addresses, and this of course has a direct impact on everyday operations and makes it quite easier to change, to renew, or to access one's Workday profile, since we can receive the new password on different email addresses. There is a configuration needed for this new feature to be set up, and it's a it needs to be configured in 2 different locations. Again, if you have questions about this, I can insert them later directly to you. Then the worksheets. So this is quite a simple new feature. So with Workday 32, worksheets will be now generally available. You can now edit prompt values from Live Data Panel and link share worksheets via Drive. So actually, this is just a new functionality that will allow you to analyze and share data in a familiar spreadsheet environment. And I believe this is our last feature for the cross-application services. So this is the global search on mobile that was extended. So Workday 32 expands the search capabilities on mobile. And now it is possible for you to easily navigate to people and available tasks and reports using Workday on Android or iPhone, of course. So in addition to searching for workers, you can now search for students, for tasks, for reports that have been enabled for the mobile application. And this feature is automatically available. So This concludes our presentation for the new features of Workday 32 for the module that we introduced at the beginning. As my colleague said, if you have any questions, feel free to note them down and send them to us by email. We will get back to you as quickly as possible. We hope that this presentation was useful to you. It was a pleasure for us to make it and to work on it. We wish you a pleasant day and hope to see you maybe on Monday and Tuesday when we will have the same presentations but in French. So thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye.